Jesus encounters many women in the Gospels, and there are lots of themes related to marriage and sonship in these points. So, for instance, at the beginning of Jesus' ministry in John 2, it begins with a marriage. It begins with his mother addressing him and calling him to deal with the situation that they lack wine. And so Jesus is the one who, it was the job of the bridegroom to bring wine for the feast. He plays the role of the bridegroom here. In chapter 3, verse 29, John the Baptist declares, "The one who has the bride is the bridegroom. The friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly at the bridegroom's voice. Therefore this joy of mine is now complete. He must increase, but I must decrease." And so the bridegroom has come on the scene. He's coming to his threshing floor. He's going to clear out the threshing floor, this trysting place of God and his people. That realm of the temple, it's the realm where Boaz and Ruth encountered each other. It's a realm that's associated with sexual relations in the prophets. And Christ is the bridegroom come to this place. And John the Baptist is the one, the friend of the bridegroom who goes before, who prepares people. And these marital themes are prominent throughout the Gospels. This coming wedding, the coming of the bridegroom, the preparation of the bride for her bridegroom's arrival. And throughout the book of John, for instance, there are other themes that play. The coming bridegroom, but also the coming seed. Jesus meets with the woman of Samaria, and he meets her, as it were, as the new man. So he talks about, the woman answered him, "I have no husband." Jesus said to her, "You are right in saying, 'I have no husband.' For you have had 5 husbands, and the one who you now have is not your husband." And then he talks about the one who's coming. Now, what can we learn from this? There are 5 who have fallen, as it were, one who now is, and one to come. There are allusions to this perhaps in Revelation with the talk of the kings, but Christ is the 7th man. He's the husband who's arriving on the scene. If you read through the Old Testament, I mentioned briefly, the theme of men meeting their wives at wells is a common one. Moses meets Zipporah at the well. Jacob meets Rachel at the well. Isaac or Rebecca is encountered at the well. And so all these themes charge this particular event as one that has symbolic importance, that when Christ meets the woman at the well, there is an underlying theme of marriage at play. This is the prospective bride. And again, she's a woman who seems to be scandalous in some ways. Someone who maybe she's had 5 husbands, and now the husband she's with is not her husband. It's possible she's been badly mistreated as well. Mistreated by her husbands. Someone who she seems to be, when she talks to her community, they listen to her. So presumably they know that she's probably been mistreated. She's not been honored as she should have been. And then Christ comes as the true husband, the one who will be faithful where the others have not been.